find it difficult to focus on your customers and even your own employees as you're juggling numerous vendors? Do you have more meetings with vendors than you can count? And do their reports filled with technical jargon make you feel clueless and frustrated? Such is the story of Nathan. Being at a car dealership, he's concerned about his store's digital marketing presence and invests most of his time dealing with vendors to promote his business and gain more sales and market share. Nathan is busy handling reports and reviewing them, not knowing what is happening on the advertising front and about his true ROI. Poor Nathan is worried but can't figure out a solution until he found BZ Consultants Group. BZ Consultants stepped in and was able to take the digital marketing vendor burden off Nathan's plate, giving him peace of mind that the best interest of the dealer was always top of mind. Being an unbiased third party, BZ Consultants always made sure to relay the reports in easy, relatable, and actionable ways so that Nathan could best utilize the data. Now, Nathan can focus on what he really wanted, the customer experience and growth. By being your digital marketing business partner, BZ Consultants Group will remove the hassle of trying to hold your vendors accountable and increase your productivity with the time you will now have armed with true data. Together, we make it possible because your success is our goal.
Well, hello and welcome into Facts Not Feelings. I am your host because I've got Steven and he is a wealth of knowledge. And we're going to be recapping our main takeaways from the show where it was about connecting the disconnected and honestly, why your customers are leaving and the customer lifetime value. So with that, Steven, let's jump into this a little bit and talk about the show that just dropped.
Hey, you know what? I love being here, Brooke. I'm a huge fan of yours. I love your take on really relevant topics. And if you click on that link and you see or hear the one that we did together, look at all the other ones. The content is so rich and the guests are incredible. So I'm in there all the time and I recommend other people do the same. It's very, very cool.
Well, thank you so much. Now I look back, we originally did that episode a while ago and it was right after we originally met on LinkedIn. We did quite a few fixed ops roundtables together and panels together. And I go back to that very first time that we met. I was just was so blown away by one. Now I'm not saying this just because you're on my show, the words that come out of your mouth. It was just anytime that you speak, just shut up and listen to this man. He's so, your take on not only your company, but you and I were talking a few months back about just even how your company does business and the security portions and the protocols you have in place. And I was just even blown away by that. And you're just constantly thinking, as we discussed in the episode, even though, it's great that while a company may be succeeding, and even as an individual or a solopreneur or entrepreneur, you're succeeding, are you constantly asking yourself the question of, great, now what? Great. How can I improve now? So constantly having that, right? What's next? As we talked about so often, and as we're talking here, we've got some people chiming in here, so we're going to quickly address. Of Larry, good to see you.
Yeah, Larry. Yeah, cool.
Larry is speaking. Yeah, we got Dave Foy saying, Dave, thank you so much. It was a great episode, and honestly, it's because of this man over here, and he was carrying the weight on this one. We've got 2 words, rock star. Well, thank you, Dave, and Jeff. Happy birthday, Brian Ortega. Jeff, is it no longer your birthday? That's my question at this point, because your birthday seems to be every single day at this point. And then Brian, can Steve Apicella sing a cappella?
No, but you know what? Check out Brian Feldman. That dude can rock. So that's the guy to get. Yeah.
So based on our episode that just dropped, let's start with I'll say it doesn't have to be the most important takeaway, but one of your takeaways from the episode of your brilliant mind that was speaking.
I tell people, Brooke, that, to kind of level set about who I am and what we do is sometimes vendors like us, like you, people will misinterpret that we think everything's wrong. Yep. I don't, and it's not. There's a lot of great things happening in our industry, and I'm proud to be a part of it, and I'm proud to contribute to it. The thing that I look at is, there's constant evolution in our lives and the things that we interact with and what the new expectations become through those interactions. that require us as an industry and as contributors to the industry to continuously evolve ourselves. So you mentioned about, the what can I do next? It's the definition of the way innovation stacks work, is you solve one thing and then something else reveals itself, and then you solve that, and then you keep going. But we don't do it in a vacuum. We do it with our partners. We do it in the field. I'm on the road every week. My team's on the road every week. Our developers, we bring them out on the road so that they can see the reality in which they're creating and innovating in, and how to best do that. But the whole premise of the show and the premise of what we do is, how do we let the music continue on beyond the one-time transaction? Our industry likes to consider itself a relationship industry. If you ask anybody, do you want to just sell a car and maybe an F&I product or two, or to also earn a recurring customer? In 10 years asking that question, I've never had anybody say, we're just selling cars and maybe an F&I product too. Everybody wants the recurring customer. The challenge for our industry is that what we're doing. And there's a lot of things self-reflective. Look at a dealer's website, any dealer's website, and ask yourself, are they earning reoccurring customers, or are they selling cars, right? The customer can read that, but then also related to the journey is fragmented, because dealers operate sales and service, or variable and fixed, like two separate companies under one roof. Yeah. And what happens is, when the sales team is done with their job, to the customer, it feels like the relationship and therefore the transaction is over. And we talk about it quite a bit in our podcast together, that there's examples out there like Amazon that should be blueprints for our industry. It's not something that's detached. Amazon is chock full of people and brick and mortar. What they figured out is the desirable way to keep that music playing and to keep getting that customer back organically again and again and again. It's one continuous journey before, during, and after the sale with Amazon. The same must be true for the auto retail industry if we truly desire anything beyond the one-time transaction.
I love so much that when we were speaking that you brought up the Amazon, because so often we go to this Amazon example, but with that is we don't dissect it. We think it's all digital. That is only a portion of it. The brick and mortar portion is also a portion, and all the subsidiaries underneath it. There's the Whole Foods, there's Grubhub, there's all these other things underneath it. And at any point, if anything is disrupted or along that chain, it reflects back on Amazon. So in the auto industry, it's the same way. Okay, so if I'm disrupted through service, I'm disrupted through the tier one side, I'm disrupted through any of this, it's going to reflect back on the brand. And so we think of Amazon once again as the digital, and that's just a portion of it. And they've done such a phenomenal job of understanding. Case in point, I had something delivered from Amazon yesterday. Shocker, like we all do. Right. And we're sitting down watching a baseball game last night, and it pops up on my phone that there's been a package delivered. I was like, man, I didn't even know I ordered anything from Amazon. I totally forgot. But as soon as you see that, it's like, oh yeah, I must have ordered it. But that is just the way that we are, that we know that I'm okay that I paid more for it, because it's the convenience factor of it. That it's just that we're constantly, you don't just buy one thing from Amazon. You're always going to go back.
Yeah, we're connected to every phase of it, right? And we talk about it at length at our podcast together, that why do they make it so easy to return something? Not because they want to be in the business of returns. They want to be in the business of the next transaction, and they don't want you to even think about it. Yeah. And again, the lesson to be learned there is, if you want the recurring customer beyond the one-time transaction, it takes leadership and it takes process. And if your process just abruptly ends after the sale of the vehicle, and then some other disconnected process picks up trying to capture the customer beyond that one-time transaction, then the music has stopped. And there's an opportunity for somebody else to pick that back up again. And that's the missed opportunity. Again, a great industry, the intention of having a reoccurring customer is there with everybody, but intentionality is not enough. No. You can't just hope. Hope's not a strategy.
No, it's not.
And, and it has to be desirable. I think about a couple of things architecturally. F&I is a big cornerstone of what we do. And our industry leverages the hell out of F&I.
Yeah.
And the truth is, it's great for customers to protect their ownership experience. It's ultra valuable to the dealer. And then there's this support community that delivers it, whether it's agents or the very valuable third-party administrators. All this is ultra, ultra important to the success, the financial success of a dealer. But the architecture of that is today, let's keep these products the world's greatest secret until the customer enters whatever the dealer's F&I environment is during a 3-hour car buying process. Show them, it doesn't matter the number, 5, 6, 7, 8 products on a menu for the first time during that stressful car buying process, and then expect them to make a decision right now or never thereafter.
Which is crazy.
That's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
And it's not, again, there's no fault of the F&I menu presentation. That should occur. But should a customer have intuitive access to everything they purchased from F&I during that car buying experience on their smartphone, even if it's through multiple administrators? And should they also have access to everything they didn't buy, still personalized to them, that a day after, 2 days after, a week after, they can have a moment, think about it, and buy it? Yeah. Why the hell not?
I agree with that one.
Yeah, but then it goes, then it goes to the experience of owning these products. They're always sold. F&I is sold as it's a great retention tool, and we talk about this at great length. Is the customer will come back to the dealer intuitively. That's a good thing, even when it's unannounced. And they'll say, hey, I bought my car here. I bought some production products. I need service support. And then the music stops again. And the service advisor, not their fault, they're just ill-equipped, says, great, Brooke, what products did you buy from us?
I bought from you.
You have a copy of your service contract with you. You talked about that at length, that you're conditioned to do that now. Do you know what it's called? Do you know who it's through? And customers, in that very valuable moment of retention are thinking, time out. I bought this stuff from you. Don't you know?
Yeah.
And they should, but they don't. And it doesn't matter if one administrator has a portal where you can access their stuff. How many dealers have more than one F&I administrator powering their F&I environment? Mm-hmm. You've got to unify this, connect the disconnected parts of the ownership journey if you want anything more than a one-time transaction. And we do that on a smartphone, right? And we do that on a website. I tell people all the time, I'm this way, you're this way right now, everybody watching this way, is, how important is our smartphones in our lives? They're critically important. They're not just with us. They're sitting in front of us, right? They're accessible. They're right there because it's the center of our universe. It's not if we're communicating with a customer in 2023 and beyond, it's how.
Amen.
And customers don't want phone solicitations. Sorry. They don't want junk email. Sorry. And the biggest misperception in our industry is text messaging. Brooke, if you and I are friends and I'm on your contact list and you're on mine, text messaging is great. Friends and family, we do it all the time. That's the misperception. But what happens when you receive a random text message? It's as much junk as junk postal mail and junk email, right? And even worse, if a dealer uses a text messaging platform and the text comes over from a non-standard phone number like 23-09.
Yes.
Who's engaging that?
I literally have had to start saving like UPS updates because it comes in the short form. I'm like, who the hell is this? But I'm like, I know I need to have that because those are important. I need to know if something's being delivered. Like, yes, UPS is going to send me the email and I've got the app, but I'm like, certain updates don't come through the app all the time. So I'm like, shit, who is this? So I have to constantly save that. And there are some call tracking providers that are doing it the correct way, and they will personally make sure that each employee has a long form phone number that is accurate, that comes up with the dealer's name. So when it comes to, they actually know if they call or whatever, it comes up the correct way. If they call, it goes back to leadership. But there are a lot of call tracking providers, or maybe they're not even using one, that they don't even know what the number is. And so it either comes up as, it literally comes up like, case in point, I have had somehow my phone number is, I don't know where someone got a hold of something. And it's every week, if not every other week, I get the same email with the same phrase every single week saying that They're looking for some random email or some address wanting to sell a home in North Carolina that is not my fault. It's not mine, but it's this in that some name. It's not me. But it's like, this is the stuff, like, you're going to get spam. It happens all the time. But if you have a legitimate phone number, that it pops up that way. So if you go, like, I use Truecaller, it's going to recognize that. But if it just comes up, it's going to mark it as spam unless you have a legitimate call tracking provider, let alone, as I know you're going to talk to, is the push notifications.
Yeah, nobody, so the push notifications are super powerful. Everybody interacts with them all day long because they're native to your device. And you know where it came from, whether it's ESPN or, you get the World Cup score update, or, whatever it might be, or weather bug, or you missed a phone call, or you missed a text message. We're accustomed to interacting with those. We can do the same thing between a dealer and a customer, but we teach dealers and our partners how to communicate in a way in which enriches the relationship and is not noise. Customers want to be informed. They don't want to be hassled. They want to be inspired. They don't want to be badgered. Things like, hey, did you know you can enhance your ownership experience with the protection products you didn't buy? Click here to learn more, and then lead it into not spam, but lead it into a personalized thing where you can see what you've purchased, and by extension, you can see what you didn't buy, personalized to you. Why not? Or simple things, which again blow me away that it doesn't exist really today, is how about a push notification that says, thanks for buying a car from us. Welcome to the family. We're looking forward to being on this journey with you. To do two really simple things in a relationship: express gratitude for the relationship and establish the relationship beyond the one-time transaction. In those very simple words, you can accomplish that.
It's funny you brought that up. Yeah. I was working with a CRM provider, and my younger brother has a reputation management tool, and he was working, and it's not one that's really well known in our industry. And he just goes, I got to make this work. And I just go, good luck. I haven't seen it happen, but knowing him, I knew he'd make it work. I jokingly said that because I was like, I know you're going to make it work. But we're like, he goes, it should be as easy as like when an RO closes, when the deal is already R'd, we should be able to, once that comes in, have the CRM push us over and have that automatically send out and say, hey, how was your experience? And do some type of reputation management, something like that. And it was just like, he goes, it's obviously very difficult working with CRM just because they're a little bit more archaic. And I go, I understand. And he was able to do a workaround to make that happen. And I looked at all the other ones, and I saw how other reputation management tools were working, and saw that when a similar thing would happen, they were literally sending it out, and it would be the same message like 15 times and just badgering the customer. And the way that he would do it, I go, but it's just that simple tweak to personalize it a little bit more. But what you're saying is that when you spam someone, you've lost that credibility. Instead of being connected, you've now broken that trust, and now it's disconnected. Now the customer's like, whoa, stop. Like, what are you doing? So it's
our mantra: connect the disconnected. There's a lot of disconnected stuff. There's a lot of good intentionality out there. There's just a lot of disconnected processes. Sales, should they throw the kitchen sink at customer acquisition? Of course. Is selling a car important? Absolutely it is. Is selling an F&I product, if you can, during that car sale process? Of course.
Yeah.
Should you have a refined fixed ops process that makes it really simple for customers to engage you for whatever you need? Of course. But that's not the problem. The problem is the void in between the two. The drop-off is deep. And it's a mistake for our industry. Connect the disconnected parts of the ownership journey. Think Amazon, right? This blueprint. It's not a bunch of disconnected things. It's one unified experience that is desirable. And that's why people don't even think about coming back. They just do it. And we talk about this too, because it's important for our industry to know, Amazon's not the cheapest thing online anymore. Doesn't matter. The experience is so profoundly good that customers don't even shop it. They just keep coming back, and they make it really easy to do that.
I can go to Target. It's going to be most likely be cheaper, but I have to get in first world problems. Fully aware of this, but I would have to get in my car. I got to drive over there. Like for me, like if I'm going to Target, I'm like, I will full out put it in the, pickup. And then I don't have to go and like walk around. Like, how lazy am I? Like, and I'm not lazy, but I'm like, it's just the time factor, the convenience factor. I just automatically, case in point, I had the thing got delivered last night and I totally forgot it was on a subscribe and save and forgot I even purchased it. And I've got like 3 of something that I don't even need. I was like, ah, shit, like, what am I doing? But that's what Amazon does to you. It's like, I just paid triple the cost for something that I didn't even need. And now I'll probably end up returning it, but I also then like, the return process is super easy. So whatever, don't worry about it. Like, it's what it does.
These things are rhetorical for people to consider, but should a customer be connected to their dealer beyond the one-time transaction? Should they be able to interact with them seamlessly? Should they be able to enhance their ownership experience with the products and services that the dealer can offer in a way that's not spam or a postcard in the mail or, these disconnected from reality pursuits that are out there? And the answer is, of course they should. And it's, my other feeling is it's the dealer's customer. We're vendors, right? It should always be the dealer's relationship. Yes. We're here to propel that, not to interrupt it. And that's why we call our platform Your Dealer Experience. It's not my experience. It's your experience. We just help facilitate and connect the disconnected parts of it. And again, I love it. The results have been phenomenal. Should a customer be able to buy F&I products available from the dealer immediately after their vehicle sale on their smartphone and finance it or pay for it in full right on their smartphone? Why the hell not? Should they be able to see the products they already purchased on their smartphone? Should they be able to know when there's a touch point their car is due for service in that same environment? Should they get rewards for every time they interact with the dealer and be incentivized for their next visit? These are all things that we do on our platform. And then we acknowledge that even though we're dealer branded, even though we've unified all these things and connected the disconnected parts, we have an open API platform, which means you can plug in other digital solutions to it so you don't fragment that with all the other solutions. So if you're somebody and you want to offer poly and offer car insurance beyond the transaction, you can do that in our application and plug it in. And I love it. And it's endless where we're going to go with this, because there's always another thing to connect. And there's always another thing to evolve. And I love being a part of it. And we have a lot of people. We're not alone. We have lots of awesome dealers. We have lots of awesome clients and partners, third-party administrators and agencies that work with us. And we're inspired every day that we do this. It's fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
Stephen, thank you so much for this and for recapping the show with us. Super, super appreciate it. Everyone that's watching right now, we've got Stephen's link below here. But for those that maybe haven't had a chance to catch up on the episode, where can everyone find you and get in touch with you?
LinkedIn's always easy. A lot of people communicate with me that way. Strategic-DX is our website. You can communicate with me that way. Steve@strategic-dx.com is my email. So love to engage and collaborate. I think that's what makes shows like this so awesome. By the way, I don't know if everybody knows this, but I think it's still 5-timer award with Saturday Night Live, right? So if you've been on 5 times, you're in a 5-time club. And there's like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 people that are part of that. I am a part of the 3-time club with Brooke.
You are.
And I couldn't be more excited to be a part of that club. So
I think you're the only one at this point. Yes, there was Alan Crutch had been on twice, and you are the only one to have the 3-time award. This is true. We're gonna have to get you like a gold jacket at this point.
If you've ever watched Saturday Night Live, when you have the next 3-timer, you got to bring me on sometime at the end of the show, and I'll welcome them to the 3-timer club. Yeah.
Oh, and before we head out of here, Robert is saying, "Awesome show. You'll need to do a part 2 of the show."
Thanks, Robert. Yeah,
we definitely will. This is like I said, every time that I speak with you, I learn something, and I like literally going back and watching the show. It's just like, man, I always learn something from you. So I just so appreciate you, everything that you're doing for the industry, and just continue to do what you're doing. Like, I know you will. I got to verbalize that. So just thank you.
Thank you. And thanks to everybody watching. Appreciate it.
Super appreciate it. With that, everyone, we're going to get out of here. We've got, over the next few weeks, we've got just a packed house of awesome guests. So thank you so much, Stephen. With that, everyone, have a fabulous day. And as always, find a way to serve today. Find a way to help and serve your fellow colleague, your fellow neighbor, wherever it may be, whether there's a kind smile or opening a door for someone. With that, everyone, we will see everybody next week.